Hello and welcome into our Friday night show. What's going on tonight, guys? How are you, Tiger Mike?
Where you at, baby? How y'all doing tonight? We're doing great, man. Just sitting here in my kitchen, just got finished eating dinner, and tell you what, I've feels like I've had dessert all week long. Listen to these crybabies around here in Mississippi talk about Lane Kiffin this and Lane Kiffin that. He's this, he's that. They'll worry more about Lane Kiffin than talking about the dang playoff right now they're about to play. They're probably going to have, I think they do have a home playoff game, and they're more worried about their ex-coach. It's so funny, man. So funny.
Yeah, they're almost, I won't say guaranteed, but almost guaranteed a home playoff game. And I think I'd be more worried about that as a fan, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, but they can't let it go. They cannot let it go. Uh-oh. We got Greg in the house. When Greg's in, man.
Look who it is.
Go Tigers.
What up, Greg?
Man, well, it's like I said, it's been fun all week just ragging these guys. And I've said this before. I'm not sure if Lane Kiffin's the guy. I'm not even sure if I like him as a coach for LSU. He's a good coach. Don't let me make sure I say that. He's a darn good coach. But I think I'm having more fun just kind of trolling these guys and stirring the pot, man. It's been fun this week. So.
I can imagine so. I haven't really paid attention to as much of it this week as last, but my thoughts are pretty simple on that. It's just I would be much more worried about our first ever playoff appearance if I'm an Ole Miss fan, and I would you can be sour about something, have sour grapes, whatever, for a little bit, and then it's just like, all right, let's move on to the next thing. Let's cheer on this team. Let's see if we can make a run, because I mean they still have a really good team there. So like you don't want to ruin that if there's an opportunity for them to do something special. That's just my opinion.
I agree. And Greg comments in here. He says, how about Ole Miss hypocrisy with letting Charlie Weiss Jr. join them on the offensive staff even after he was signed to LSU as their offensive coordinator? It is hypocrisy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, I didn't, I could see both sides of like wanting Kiffin Kiffin wanting to stay and coach, and then I can understand, Ole Miss being like, no, you're gone, get out of here, and then but then turn around and let Weiss Jr. coach. I don't understand that at all. Makes no sense.
And look what Florida's doing. They're letting John Summerall coach, at Tulane. I know they're not rival. I know they're not in the same division or anything like that. It's not comparing apples and oranges at all. However, it's very similar. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Oregon is having the same when their offensive coordinator, I believe, is going to Kentucky. Is that correct?
Yeah, he took the Kentucky job.
But he's still going to coach until they're done through the season. And I believe the DC might be going to Cal, I believe is what I heard. So
now that's more like what's normally been happening. So like if you take a job and it's in another conference or across the country and we're not rivals, we're not going to play each other, that's kind of what happens. Like those coordinators will stay and finish out the season. Dan Lanning took the Oregon job a few years back after Georgia won their first national championship, and he stayed through the national championship game. So that's the longest you can go, and that was 4 years ago. It was like January 12th, so it was 1 week earlier than the national championship is now, but still he stayed the full time and then he went. But in between playoff games, he was recruiting and building the staff and all that for Oregon. So I think it can be done like that, but I understand why Ole Miss didn't allow that.
Oh, I understand too. I totally agree with it. I just think it's what's the difference of Charlie Weiss doing it if Lane Kiffin was going to do it as well? It just doesn't make sense to me. Of course, we don't know all the backstory. We don't know. I was told the other day, There's two sides to a story. No one God told me, he said, no, there's three sides. There's his side, and the truth. So we don't know what the truth is. So.
And usually the truth, if it's this side and this side, is somewhere in the middle.
It's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
In the middle. But here's the thing, what I don't understand. Like right now, yesterday was early signing day. So here you got Georgia and Alabama playing for the SEC championship this weekend. And they're worrying about early signing day right now. And they're worrying about planning for this SEC championship game. It just doesn't make sense to me. So there are some timing issues in college football right now, a lot of timing issues.
There definitely are. And Greg has a good question. Any injuries on the Bama front? Yes, Greg, we'll get to that. I know their number one running back's banged up. He missed a good portion of that Auburn game. And even if he does play, I think the feeling is that he definitely won't be anywhere close to 100%. Not that they can run the ball like, a stout team like Georgia can run the ball, but because that's probably their most glaring weakness, but that just probably makes it even worse, which, hey, I'm for it. That makes them one-dimensional. Bring it on. If you're one-dimensional against Georgia, it doesn't work out too well for you.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not. And hopefully Georgia doesn't start slow for you guys like they have been and try to turn it on in the second half. Because I think, this Alabama team has shown, hey, they started slow in the beginning of the season, and then they came on strong in the middle, and then towards the end they kind of slowed down again. But I think this team has a chance that team being Alabama, has a chance to do some damage if they really get rocking and rolling.
They do. They just have to get healthy again, and that seems to be the issue for both teams. Georgia's got Drew Bobo, the starting center, who's questionable also, and that hurts because center runs everything on the offensive line.
Yes,
and Bobo's a senior and a 3-year starter now. He played quite a bit as a freshman too, but yeah, that'll hurt if we're missing him. We may have to reshuffle the offensive line. I don't know that the freshman center that came in during Tech, I don't know that we trust him because there were a couple of things that in that Tech game where you were just like, man, something's off, something's a little off, and you can really feel the difference between Drew and the backup center. So
yeah, gotcha. Something's going on my computer. I'm turning blue. Look like
you look like a Martian.
Man, blue Martian.
That's
odd. I've never seen that happen before.
Hey, it's kind of like a tiger.
Look like a rebel. I'm turning blue. Here's a comment. It's called jilted lover syndrome, and Ole Miss is as bitter as soured sweet tea. That's funny. I'm not sure. That was a good one. Well, let's. I'm not sure why I am blue here. This does not make any sense. I don't get that.
Well, I can give you a chance to kind of work on that if you want. I've got a few more thoughts here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, as everyone out there may know, and if you don't, I was at the first matchup between Georgia and Alabama back in Athens, and the oh wow, I'm full screen now. Don't like that. But with that said, I also said that my prediction was that Georgia and Alabama would match up again in the SEC championship game, and lo and behold, here we are. That came true with a little bit of help, but you can't say that teams don't get a little help now and then. So yeah, it feels pretty good to be right about that. However, now it's the second time playing these guys, and and that means that hey, you're back, baby.
I'm back, baby.
I
Back and
was just
stronger than ever.
I was just in the middle of saying, this is the second time playing these guys, and
Yep.
it's really hard to beat a team twice. So that gives me confidence as a Georgia fan. But at the same time, there are some glaring reasons and questions that we have to ask ourselves about that first game. Like, why was Alabama so efficient on third down? That's alarming to me because they came to our place and played one of the cleanest, most efficient games that I've seen played all season offensively, especially in the first half. But they finished 13 of 19 on third down, which is
Wow.
ridiculous. I mean,
Wow.
it's hard to do that in a video game, and they did that in real life
At
against
Georgia.
at Georgia against a Kirby
Against
Smart
Georgia, at
defense.
Georgia. Yeah. Wow.
So, what do you have to say about that, Tiger Mike? You think they can recapture that, or is that just a one-off scenario?
Well, I don't think it's a one-off scenario. I think Alabama has the talent to do it. You've seen it, what they've done. I'm looking at their schedule right now this year, what they've done, the points they scored. Um, I think they can do it, and I think here's the thing, though. You're going into Atlanta, which is not a neutral field. We can, even though it is a SEC championship game. I think we kind of mentioned that off the air last week. We were kind of talking about that. So it is a home game for Georgia. It definitely is, and I think that being the same team twice is not easy. However, if Georgia comes to play, I think they'll win. Alabama's got a shot, though. And it brings up the question, though. Are these championship games worth it now? I still think they are. I like the championship games, especially in the SEC conference. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I like them. And to my opinion, I think if you win your conference, you should be in, period. So,
Yeah, and to further that, I think if you make it to your conference championship, unless you're, Duke this year, which we'll get to in a minute, with 5 losses, you should be in the playoff
yeah.
too, especially in the Power 4 conferences. Now, I don't think that Alabama will be able to do 13 of 19 on third down again. I also think that it's going to be pretty much a 50-50 split in there because, you say it's not a neutral field, but Alabama fans travel well to Atlanta.
Yeah.
There's going to be just as much crimson as there is red and black. So I think it's going to feel more like a neutral field and really it's going to feel bigger than just the SEC championship, if that's possible. And what I mean by that, that could be a semifinal game, honestly. To me, I think that's 2 of the 4 best teams in the country.
Yeah.
So, and that's just my humble opinion.
Well, the defense against defense, the offense against other person's defense. So, what do you think? I think these teams match up very well together. I think they're kind of similar, in my opinion. 2 good, solid quarterbacks. The offensive lines are strong. I think they run pretty decently. So, what do you think is going to be the deciding factor? Is it going to be coaching?
I do, because I think what the deciding factor was the first time was DeBoer put together a perfect game plan, and they executed it perfectly.
Yeah.
And it's rare that you see Kirby Smart get out-coached and his staff get out-coached, but they clearly did that night in Athens in September. But the good thing is both of these teams have come a long way since September. They're not the same. I give the slight edge to us running the ball. And I think our offense, when it's at its best, is more efficient. Our defense, when it's at its best, which it's playing very well, getting pressure right now, is slightly better. So yeah, if we play our A game, I think we have the slight edge in this game. But we've got to bring our A game, and we didn't do that for the first half of that first game. So that's a big if.
It is a big if. And I was just looking at the box score on the game. None of these teams scored at all in the fourth quarter. So everything was scored in the second and third quarter. Bama came out swinging in the first and the second quarter. But I think if Georgia comes running the ball like they did in the first game, control the clock, time of possession, maybe win the turnover battle, I think they've got it.
I agree. That would be very, very nice to do if we can, and to kind of go a little bit further on the defense, getting pressure. If we can get pressure on their quarterback, we've seen him struggle in recent weeks. Oklahoma really got after him. Auburn got after him and made him uncomfortable. So that was just the whole problem in that first game. We could not get to him and make him uncomfortable. I mean, he had all the time in the world, and he was just sitting back, just dicing up the defense, throw after throw after throw. So
Ty Simpson's I like him as a quarterback. I was impressed with him this year. Like, he threw for over 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions. And he's a junior this year, so that's pretty strong.
That is very strong, and that's what makes me a little nervous. He's very smart. He can see the field very well, and their receivers they're pretty good. They got some separation in that first game, so yeah, like I said, A game is needed. A couple turnovers, like you said, would be really nice for Georgia. That would give the offense and Gunner another opportunity to punch one in, which don't know if everybody knows this, but our red zone scoring is we're up over 80% this season, which is ridiculous. If we get in the red zone, we're punching it in for touchdowns over 80% of the time. So
that's strong.
Which we did not do that very well the first game. So that's another key to me. If we can do that, we can score touchdowns and not kick field goals or not score anything at all, turn the ball over, then I think we'll be in much better shape this game.
Ty Simpson, just for some stats, he's completing he's 66% of his passes. That's pretty strong. So he's passing for 255 yards a game. That's pretty stuff, man. He's running. He's not very much of a runner, but he gets out. But longest run is 26 yards. Yards per game, only about 10 yards a game. But that's pretty good. So I like him. He's going to be the X factor for Alabama, in my opinion. What he can do and how he's poised and finishes strong.
Yeah, for sure. He's the wild card if you're a Georgia fan, and for Alabama, he's the X factor. And I say that way because if we don't pressure him and contain him and get his eyes, big and not seeing the field very well, then it could be a long game. And we've seen him dice up some defenses, including our defense in the first half in that game. So it's exciting. It is for a trophy too. And like Kirby said, going back to your point about championships still mattering, Kirby wants to win this really bad. He always says this is the first step to winning a national championship. It hasn't been the case for him at Georgia. I think if he can win this SEC championship and go on a run and win the national championship, then people will be like, all right, Kirby's by far the best coach. And he has started what will be a light version of the Alabama dynasty at Georgia, because I don't think we're going to see a run like that again with all the parity and NIL and transfer portal again.
Yeah.
But it'll be a lighter version of that because that'll be 3 championships in 5 years if we do that.
That's strong. That is strong. I think Kirby's got a good thing going down there between the hedges down there in Georgia. So
That's right.
I'm a little envy and jealous of it. So I'm not gonna lie.
It's okay, man. Hey, not everybody can have the same success all the time. I mean, I remember growing up with the early Mark Richt days being better when I was much, much younger, and then it kind of fading. And, we had the Joe Cox years and, stuff like that where we're losing 4 and 5 games a year. And we're just like, oh, we can't, we suck, can't get over the hump. Or we'll be really good, and then we just get crushed by Alabama in the SEC championship in 2012. So it's just like, I get it. I remember being there, and so I'm just trying to relish in the moment right now because this is the best it's ever been for us, and it may not get any better. So just gonna enjoy this right now.
I would definitely enjoy it.
Well, hey, you want to get
ahead.
into our slate of games that we're picking, and this is the final week of our picks this season. So
yes, let's do it.
And maybe the other two will be getting on here in just a little bit to join us and go over these a little bit more and get their thoughts on it. Okay, so we have just a 5-pack this week because not every conference championship is created equal, and so these are probably the 5 best.
Yeah.
For sure. We've talked a lot about this Georgia-Bama game. It's a big one, and as you can see, the 3 dog fans are going with the dogs, and my comrade right here is going with the Tide. So give me your thoughts. Why are you picking them here?
Well, Alabama lost by 3. It's 2.5-point spread. I think Alabama had a couple shots of beating Georgia in that game, scoring late, and that just didn't happen. I think they might pull it out. So with that 2.5-point spread, but I think Alabama might win it outright.
Well, they did the first game, so that would not be a shock to me. They beat us earlier this year. So you think they might win outright? What do you think is the way that they end up winning this game?
Oh, let's see. I'm sorry. Let me go back to this.
What's the best way for them, best path for them to win this game?
Keep doing what they're doing. I think the defense was strong. They held Georgia scoreless in the fourth quarter. That's, Georgia's been coming on strong as of late in these games and scoring in the fourth quarter. So I think if they can do that. Here's the thing. I'm looking at the box score on that game. Georgia ran for over 200 yards. It's crazy. But again,
we ran the ball well.
Yeah, Alabama quarterback just outshined Gunnar Stockton. He had 200-something almost 300 passing yards that game. So I think it's hard to beat the same game twice. I think Alabama's got a good game plan. I don't know if the first downs will be like it is, but I think they're going to come to play. I really do. And I think they'll win it again. So it's 3.5. It was a 3-point game, I think, was the last game. So
yeah,
I think Alabama's going to win out again.
Okay, so you've got Bama winning, and then if they win this game, do you put them in the top 4?
You would have to.
Yeah, I agree.
You would have to. I mean, the only other what's Bama's losses? Florida State at the beginning of the season, right? And let's see who else did they lose at the end of the game, the end of the year. Who did they lose to? Oklahoma, and they lost that by 2 points. Oklahoma. I saw most of that game, and that was a pretty good game. Oklahoma kind of, I hate to say it, from what I saw, they almost kind of dominated. The point spread looks a little bit better. I'm sorry.
Look at what your bro's saying.
Meaning coach, players, and recruits. They will bring the heat. UGA better not take this game for granted. True.
I agree.
Greg says he also said this will be the final year for a possible dynasty for Georgia. Wow. I don't know about
Wait, does he mean for Georgia or Bama?
that. I don't know.
Because we've won 2 since they've won 1.
Lane train, baby, on the tracks. So he's talking about LSU is going to be coming in knocking them off.
Knocking them both off. Okay, well, that's to be determined, Greg. We'll see. I mean, I think Lane's a great coach, and he's going to have the full force of LSU's money and recruiting and behind him. But he's still got to put it all together and put together the staff. I know he kept the defensive coordinator, right? And he brought his offensive coordinator, but the rest of the staff is going to matter just as much. So it matters just as much as the head coach. So got to put it all together and got to get the players to go out there and make the plays. So we'll see. But that's next year, baby. We're talking about this year. And this year, LSU's not going to be in the playoff. And Georgia and Bama will be. So
no, they're not, man. So look, I think Alabama's kind of got the number. This is a close spread, but I think Alabama's going to pull it out again, even though it is, as you say, it's more of a neutral field. I would disagree on that going to Georgia, but hey, who am I to say on that one? But Alabama will win. I think it'll be a little more, maybe a touchdown this time.
Oh, okay. Touchdown. So that would, to me, what that sounds like is that Georgia has some turnovers in this game.
Yes.
If that gets away from them a little bit. To me, if you go back and watch look at the history of these two teams playing, especially under Kirby. Kirby's 1-7 against Bama, so I know that. But all 8 of those games are very, very close score-wise, with the one difference being when we beat them for the national championship. We beat them by 15. So it's like, if it gets away, I think it favors Georgia, like being a bigger spread in the game. So 7 would be about the most I think either team wins by.
I agree.
Because it's for a trophy, it's a championship. Both teams are going to play really well, and they're going to be locked in. So
totally agree.
Well,
look, Greg put his picks in. Did you see that?
UGA, Tulane, BYU, Duke, Ohio State. Okay. That's very similar to Matthew's picks, minus the North
Tulane.
Texas. Yeah, and
man, why is everybody going against Tulane on this one? They're playing in New Orleans. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead. So, hold on one second. I gotta show this. I have to show this one. Look at that.
Wins by 1. Have an itch in my nethers. That same Bama will be victorious. But I'm saying, an itch in your nethers. Okay.
All right. We're just gonna leave that one there, okay? But yeah, talk about the New Orleans boys. You're the only one picking them on this show, so I figured you might. But yeah, the game's there. Tell me why else you think Tulane's got this, because both teams are going to be without their head coaches. Both coaches took other jobs.
They have taken other jobs. However, I think I could be wrong with this, but Florida's going to let John Summerall coach Tulane through the playoffs, whatever he can get into the conference and in the playoffs is what I heard. So he'll be there. Maybe he's going to try to prove a point, close out strong. I've listened to him talk on some radio shows here locally, and I've listened to some stuff online about Tulane's. I do stay connected with them a little bit. I think they'll be ready to rock and roll, and they're playing at home, man. That's some pride stuff right there. So I think Tulane will pull it out.
Yeah, and you can take the 2.5. So I mean, if they do pull this one out, you're going to be the only one right on this one. So yeah, that's just an added bonus. I thought it was curious that Tulane was a home dog in this game.
So did I. I'm like, when I saw that they were playing at home, I'm like, this is for a conference championship game, and they're playing at home, and they're down. I mean, they're the underdog. It didn't make any sense. I haven't seen anything on North Texas. I didn't even have a chance to look up any highlights or look up any stats on these guys, so I'm lost with this. And quite frankly, I don't even know where North Texas is. I've never even heard of North Texas. So shame on
The
me.
North Texas Mean Green is what they're called, and then it's
Okay.
the Tulane Green Wave. So a lot of green in this
A lot
game.
of green in this one, huh?
um, I'll be honest, I've just kind of watched these teams from afar this season. I saw Tulane play Ole Miss a little bit. They gave them a good fight for a little while. Um, I'm just going with I looked at the schedules here, and I just kind of looked at common opponents. And first of all, North Texas is 11-1, Tulane's 10-2. And North Texas, the quarterback's thrown for almost 4,000 yards this season, which I
Woo.
think is pretty impressive.
That's insane.
He's got 1,000-yard back and 1,000-yard receiver, so that offense has got to be strong. They're putting up some big points. The last 3 games, they're averaging 50 points a game. So I'm just going with the North Texas Mean Green offense, and I'm picking them to
You just like
cover
saying
and win.
you like saying
I
that.
like saying the Mean Green. Yeah, that's a pretty awesome.
North Texas Mean Green. Oh, here's a stat you didn't bring out. The quarterback for the North Texas Mean Green, he is a true freshman. Looks like.
He is.
Wow. 3,800 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. That's strong.
I'd say that's strong. And by comparison, the Tulane quarterback, 14 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Wow.
And he's their leading rusher, and they don't have 1,000-yard receiver. So it makes me think that with these lower scores that I'm looking at for Tulane, they kind of want to run the ball and control clock. So that would be their way to win the game. And that's, very possible. But these championship games feature 2 teams that are very deserving to be in the game. So it could go either way.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at the defensive side, like sacks and turnovers, things like that. So 12 interceptions for Tulane, 29 sacks. Okay. Defense looks pretty strong. So,
and the biggest point about this matchup is the winner is in the playoff. So nice. We will see this team, one of these 2 teams, play in the playoff, probably against Ole Miss or Oregon, Georgia if we lose, so they're going to get some pretty stout competition that they have to go up against in the first round, but they're going to be in the dance. So, good for them.
I'm questioning my pick for Tulane now after looking at all these stats, but we'll see. Defense. what does Daddy I say? Defense wins championships. So
they do. So hey, you could be right, but let's go to this Big 12 matchup. I'm interested by these next 2 really.
These 2 teams have played each other here recently, so
they have, and we saw how that turned out. It didn't turn out. Yeah, did not turn out too well for my pick this week. And Brigham Young, let's pull out the full name, Brigham Young. I'm gonna go with them because I'm going with them to cover. I'm not saying they're gonna win. I think Texas Tech's the better team. They're way more complete. They really get after you on defense, and they've got a strong offense. That quarterback's really, really good. But I just think the Cougars keep it close enough, and I'll take the 12.5 points in a championship game. That's a huge spread for a championship game. And who knows? It may end up being way more than that Texas Tech wins by again. But I don't think that, again, it's really hard to beat the same team twice in one season. And this was just a few weeks ago. And BYU's playing much, much better than they did in coming into that first matchup. So
yeah, BYU was shut out until the fourth quarter in that game. I'm looking at the box score right now. So, and I picked.
Yeah, it was just domination.
It was. I didn't think it was going to be that much of a dominant, and I know I picked BYU for Texas Tech in that game. So that was a wild game in my opinion. And let's see something here. So they played at Texas Tech. Here's the thing, too. I believe they're playing this game in Jerry World. Is that correct?
Jerry World, yep.
So to me, is that a home game for Texas Tech? I mean, it's closer to Texas Tech than BYU, right?
It is, for sure.
So
Dallas is much closer for them. However, BYU, they have a really solid fan base that travels well. So, I mean, I expect it probably to be 70% Texas Tech fans because it's in the state of Texas. But, you know, I could see a scenario where Texas Tech shoots themselves in the foot in this game, and watch out, BYU can hang around and they could steal this game. And if they do that, then that spells trouble for teams like Notre Dame in the playoff and other teams like possibly Bama losing. And,
yeah, true. Well, BYU, let's talk about this real quick. I sent a little video to you guys earlier in the week about the BYU coach possibly going to Penn State. That was some crazy.
And he was like, no, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Well, I think he got a big pay raise to stay where he's at. So,
hey, and why not?
Or he's going to, that is. I don't know how that came down. Of course, I don't watch all that stuff, but that would have been nuts to see him. And not only that, let's talk about that, like how real quick, since the connection came up between that. But Penn State hasn't found a coach yet. And if I'm not mistaken, they were one of the first teams to fire their coach this year.
They were the first.
So isn't that kind of odd?
It's absolutely insane and ridiculous and a huge fumble on their part, to use the football analogy, because you fire your coach early, who won 13 games last year and was in the semifinals of the playoff. Okay. You fire him early thinking you can go get somebody quote unquote better, right? Like Lane, I think they had their eyes set on Kurt Signetti, and as soon as they reached out to him, he got that extension and he signed it. He said, I'm staying.
Yeah.
I'm staying where I'm at. So at that point, they've been scrambling this whole time, and they were never going to get any of these other guys that have since picked other schools. It's just crazy.
They're on the outside looking in right now. They don't have anybody. Isn't that wild? So
it is wild. And they're such a proud program. Like, that's, really sad to see from afar. But I kind of think either we're all stupid and they just got some ace up their sleeve, and it's going to be somebody like out of retirement or somebody that we aren't thinking about right now, or they're just really that they've handled this so poorly and they're that dumb that it's just a disaster. So
we'll see. We'll see how that one plays out. I just figured I'd bring that little caveat in there for a minute.
Yeah, that was interesting because they were like, it got floated and you sent us that. And I was like, well, he decided to stay. So what are they going to do now?
Exactly. It's wild. And I think Penn State was throwing a bunch of money at him, too, a bunch of money. BYU, from what I'm understanding, either they've matched it or they're going to match it, and he's going to sign a big contract with them. So,
and hey, good for him. He's had a lot of good success.
Absolutely. I like him, too. He fires me up listening to him talk. I like him.
He's a good dude. So from what I hear, everything out there, it's hard to know somebody from afar. I've never met the dude, but he's he seems like a good guy, good coach too. So
Yeah,
yeah, both of us on this set are picking BYU. I wish the other two were on here to give their thoughts on Texas Tech. I'm sure they're just thinking, hey, first matchup, rinse and repeat. Texas Tech's the better team. I mean, I can see that. I
makes
can
sense.
really see. But I just wanted those points, man. They got to
Yeah.
win by 2 touchdowns.
Hey, that's what attract. I was going to go pick Texas Tech. Then I looked at the points again. I'm like, wait a second. Let me back up and punt here. I'm going with BYU. I picked them last time, and hopefully I'll win this one.
There we go. Yeah. Hey, you and I win if they keep it within 12, so we're good.
What about the Virginia Duke game?
Yeah, man.
Whew.
Well, the only one that isn't picking Virginia is Daddy Ice, and I was this close to picking Duke myself because it's just weirder things have happened in this ACC that's now a total disaster as a conference. This year has been like a season from hell for that conference, and Duke winning this would be total chaos. It would almost ensure that maybe no ACC team gets in the playoff, which is possible because they wouldn't be one of the 6 highest ranked, or one of the 5 highest ranked conference champs. They would be number 6. And
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but wasn't Florida State held out at one of these championship games a couple years back, and they were like 10-0 or something like that? Is that
yeah?
I remember correctly. Is that right?
They were 13-0.
Okay.
Then they won the ACC championship game, but they lost their quarterback, and then they were left out.
Okay.
So this is a little bit different than that. What I was saying was that Duke would be the lowest ranked conference champ, and they would be left out, and then potentially nobody else gets in from the ACC. But in my opinion, it should be Miami at that point if Duke wins. So Miami is the biggest Duke fans in the world this week.
I guess the point I was trying to get at was even a 13-win team couldn't even get in from the ACC.
And that's a great point. So it's like, well, is this conference just on the way down? Is it going to be the next Pac-12? I don't know.
Let me just say this, though. I don't.
I like this. We call him this all the time, Greg. Dookie. What were you going to say?
I just think if you win your conference, you should be in. I mean, it should be an automatic bid when you win it. If that's the case, then why play a conference championship game? I don't know. That's why I don't like humans picking this stuff. And you play your championship game, top 4 or 5. If you win it, then you're in. And from there, then we'll pick the rest. That's just my opinion. I mean, I don't know much about all this, but just an LSU fan here. But I just think if that's the case, then all these championship games are going to go away, and it's strictly going to be by picking and by strength of schedule. It's going to go back to the BCS again, in my opinion. So,
yeah, I mean, we may be headed back to that type of scenario where it's away from. I kind of agree. I think the committee should go away. I think the committee has their own opinions and their own bias that get in the way of what's actually happening on the field, a la Miami over Notre Dame earlier in the season.
yeah.
I mean, I can remember watching that game, and Miami won the game on the field. And if we're not going to respect that, like you're saying, if we don't respect Duke being a conference champion and winning the game on the field, then what are we doing? What are we playing for anymore?
I agree. So, even though if they are in shambles, Greg, they still should be in, unless they identify as fried chicken. Then this conference is fried.
Well, this conference does stink, and it is fried. But
he is on point tonight with all this stuff, ain't he? Man.
Yeah. Keep
from
it coming, Greg.
his nether region to fried chicken and stinking. So, and Duke,
It all
craziness.
kind of I sense a theme. It all kind of goes together here.
Uh, no, and at one point in time, I mean, you had Florida State, you had Miami, shoot, you had Clemson that were rock and rolling in SEC. But I mean, it's unreal. So, but I mean, heck, in the ACC that is. But now you've got a good coach, out there in Carolinas that are coaching. So I guess they were hoping that would raise that conference up. I don't know what the heck that was as far as hiring this coach that came out of the NFL that won all these championships with Tom Brady. I just didn't think that was the right move at all. I thought that was a pick just to put people in the seats and inflate that conference. In my opinion, is what I thought.
Yeah, it definitely was not about winning. I mean, I guess you could say, oh, if Bill could turn the clock back 10 years, okay, well, he can't,
No,
like clearly he can't. You've seen what he's done without Tom Brady. So, yeah, that was never going to work, in my opinion. I think I said that to start the season. We talked about it. I said they're going to be not good, and here we are. They're not good.
no,
They stunk, actually.
Belichick is
So,
terrible. He's more worried about his girlfriend.
I mean, can't really blame the man, but you know, he is more worried about that right now, it seems like, and whatever. But hey, I'm going with Virginia. This is another another repeat matchup that we're getting in the conference title game,
Yeah.
and Virginia handled them 34-17 last time
Okay.
at Duke.
I do.
So
And this one's in Charlotte, I believe. Isn't it in the Panther Stadium they're playing this game?
yep,
Okay.
yep. It's in Charlotte. Kind of more of a neutral site for these two, although Duke's in North Carolina as well. So,
Hey, we talked about
um,
this off air last week. We play the SEC championship in Georgia every year. Why not take it down to the Dome? Take it down to the Bayou and play down there.
hey, if you want to get Greg Sankey on the phone and say, hey man,
Put
let's
up. Hey, I'll have my people call his people.
okay. I don't think it's a terrible idea. I really don't. Again, it's just got to be money. The money's got to be right, and the travel has to
Yeah.
be, you know, there's got to, and of course New Orleans has hosted how many Super Bowls, so I mean
Yeah, I think
that's not a problem.
they're number one or number two behind Miami. So those are the two most stadiums and towns hosting Super Bowl. So not only that, between the Bayou Classic every year, between the Sugar Bowl every year through there, the high school championship games in there every year. I would like to see it every once in a while. So it would be a good one.
Hey,
Switch
if
it.
they don't totally get rid of the game, I kind of like the idea of a rotating venue, but we got to have that.
Every 4 years, swap it up.
Okay, I like that. That's not a terrible idea. So if you can get me a foolproof plan, let's talk. I'd be
Belly.
interested.
Who is Belly, Greg? Belly is done. He was the grease that fried that ACC chicken. What is he talking about?
I think he's talking about Jameis Winston and the crab legs.
That's unreal. Well, hey, this Indiana Ohio game, if I'm not mistaken, again, this is kind of a rematch of last year's Big Ten championship game. Is that correct?
Well, it was gonna be, and then Ohio State got beat
Lost
by
by Michigan.
Oregon
Oh, okay. Oregon.
and Michigan. So yeah, it was Michigan that was the final nail in the coffin because it was the last game of the season for them. But yeah, this was supposed to be the matchup last year, and we get it this year. Ohio State, favored by 4.5. I think that's a little light. I think it's a little low, to be honest. Ohio State has had kind of a easier schedule, but not easier than Indiana. If you go look at their schedule, it's been pretty soft. Indiana played Kennesaw State, local Georgia school that just broke into, Division 1 football.
Okay.
They are playing for their conference championship tomorrow night, so shout out Kennesaw State Owls, but
Ohio
they're
State.
they're they're
Go
not
ahead.
the strongest team in the country. And the other two non-conference games are pretty poo-poo, if you ask me. So and then the Big Ten is the bottom's pretty bad in the Big Ten. So I don't know. Ohio State's just been so strong all year. I'll take the Buckeyes to win and cover in this one.
Well, let's see. Indiana's played Illinois. They were ranked 9th at the time. They beat Oregon, that was ranked 3rd. And now they're going to be playing Ohio State. Those are the only really big teams. Penn State should have been up there a lot better, but they're not. Wisconsin's usually looks like they're having a down decade right now. So,
Yeah.
and but Purdue's wishing they had Drew Brees back. So, Michigan State is a team that should be up and doing a lot better. So. And they played them. But, Indiana's number 2 in the country. I think they got a shot on this one. Cignetti's a darn good coach. So
Yeah.
I just don't know if he can out-coach the talent that Ohio State has. But I'm picking them 4.5 points, and I'm kind of an underdog fan here. So,
do you think they win outright, or are you just taking the points here?
I guess I'll call it an upset. I think they're going to win outright.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it would be an upset by the spread and everybody's, I guess, mindset going into this game with Ohio State being the defending champs. But I can see Indiana winning. I really can. They really impressed me with the way they went to Oregon and spanked them. Yeah, that was impressive. So, I mean, if they bring their A game like they did that day, this may be the game of the day Saturday. Who knows?
That was a 10-point win too, by the way.
Well, it was 10. It was 10, and then they added another one. It was 17, wasn't it?
It was 30-20 that game.
Okay.
But Oregon barely scored. They scored a touchdown in the first and fourth quarters, and then they only got field goals in the second and third. Indiana dominated that game, man.
They really did. So, I mean, hey, if they play like that, I could see them beating Ohio State too. That would be a heck of a season for Indiana. Best season they've ever had, I'm sure.
Probably right.
Big Ten championship, beating Ohio State and Oregon, same season. That would be solid. And then they would be the number 1 seed. The winner of this game, number 1 seed in the playoff. Loser probably just stays at 2. I mean, what do you think?
Say that again. I'm sorry. I was reading some comments down here. What was that?
The winner of the game gets the 1 seed in the playoff, and then you think the loser just gets the 2 seed? I mean, because then everybody else has a loss just like they do. So these are the only undefeated teams left.
They're undefeated. They're 1-2. I think it's fair. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. And where are they playing this game at? Is that in Indianapolis?
This is Indianapolis. So, I mean, it's in Indiana's backyard.
Okay.
That may be advantage Indiana.
It might be an advantage. Well, I'm looking forward to that one. That's one of the ones. Did you see Saban's thoughts on the Big Ten? It was a knee slapper. I did not see his comments. Did you see his comments, Dogfather?
I did not, but apparently he called the conference. I mean, that makes sense coming from, the greatest coach in the history of college football and him being an SEC guy. That makes sense.
Well, he came from Michigan State before he went to LSU.
He did.
So
But so he's seen both conferences,
He
and
has.
I think he kind of has a point. I don't think they're totally soft anymore. You've got too many good teams at the top, but it's not as deep of a conference as the SEC.
No, it's not at all. No, top to bottom, SEC by far is the deepest conference. And people hate when you say it that are outside the SEC, but it's the truth, man.
There's a reason why the viewership numbers and so like the viewership numbers for the SEC are off the charts, television wise, and then you've got all of these NFL players from all these from these SEC schools. It's just not even really that close. So kind of ends that debate, if you ask me. So this is something I wanted to kind of highlight here. We have two games where we're all four split on who's going to win. And it's this Ohio State Indiana game, and then it's the Texas Tech BYU game. Now,
Yep.
I'm not picking BYU to win. I picked them to cover. So,
I'll pick them to cover. I'm picking them to cover.
Yeah, I think we all agree there that Texas Tech's going to win that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. We had a good bit of variation this final week of the season, and that's I know it says week 14. That's not correct. That was a typo. This is championship week, or
Championship
technically week 15 if you want to give it a number. So
okay.
But that's all right. I do like that we all kind of have some different thoughts on this week, and that's just kind of the nature of championship week. It could go any of these games could go either way, and it'll be exciting. I'm ready for it.
Very exciting. Let me see some. I'm sorry, I was looking at some numbers here. Just crazy stuff. So out of 16 seasons, Nick Saban at Alabama. How many times did he lose more than 2 games?
Once.
Twice. That's it.
Mm.
Twice. That's it. And he went that's insane. 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons in a row. He only lost 1 game. And he went undefeated once, twice. So it's crazy. 201 wins and only 29 losses.
Wow. That's amazing.
It is amazing. Let's look at this stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years in a row. He lost 2 games or less. Mainly he lost twice in that 8-year stretch, 2 times. The less, it was only one loss. It's crazy. That's just not going to happen again. I just don't see that ever happening again.
That's wild. Yeah, it's probably not going to. I wanted to mention this too real quick. With this being the last week that we pick games, and then we'll get out of here and we'll have another show on Sunday to recap the weekend. But going into this final week with only 5 games, Papa D's got a 4-game lead on me. So what that means is that I have to go 5-0, and he'd have to go 1-4 just for us to tie this week.
Wow.
So it's pretty much all but decided here. He's probably going to win.
No, here we go. I'm not going to hear it. This is
He's probably going to win. Obviously these results in green and red are not.
They're not accurate.
These games have not been decided yet. They're to be determined.
I hope he's all in red.
If he goes 0-5 and I go 5-0, then I win. So maybe we should be rooting for that, because we know we don't want to come on here on Sunday and have to listen to I won. I
Uh,
guess who? Guess who won?
I might be sick that day.
And then
I can hear him talking.
you and
He,
Daddy Ice are battling to not come in fourth. So I mean, hey,
yep.
this is a big week for y'all. Who can be the one to come in third place? Who's it gonna be?
And it should be 40-36 because I did mess up in that one pick with my pick. What game was that I thought I had won, but I didn't because I made the wrong pick, but I picked the upset. What was that game? Was that
Was
Pitt?
that Pitt and Georgia Tech?
Yeah. Oh well.
You said you
I'm
said
like I
Pitt
said, go ahead.
wasn't Pitt your upset pick of the
It
week,
was, and I
but
picked but
then you picked Georgia Tech for the game.
yeah, that was a mistake. I meant to put Pitt, but that's fine. Yeah, that was a good
Hey,
one. Oh
you
well.
you've still got it in front of you. You're not gonna come in last if you can win one more game than Daddy Ice. So
But we'll win it. You know, the beginning too, I had issues. I didn't realize we're doing point spreads and stuff. I didn't look at any of that stuff. I was just so I got a little bit better as the season went on.
you did. You and Daddy Ice came on strong. I remember beginning of the season, both of you kind of had a slow start, and so all of us with winning records
That's
above
pretty good.
50% is crazy when you talk about, betting these games. We're not actually betting them, but we're picking them against the spread like bettors do. And dang, I wish I could win 60% of my bets. I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
No, not only that, you know, some of these spreads that we lost. So let's go to that. You know, some of these spreads were 18, 15, 19-point spreads that we lost this year. So that's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane because you pick a team thinking that they're just going to roll, and then these other teams backdoor cover, and then you're like so mad and you're pissed. So happens all the time.
Well, looks like our other two didn't jump on. That's fine, but we're still on for Sunday night at the same time.
Yep, we'll be back here Sunday night same time. It's been another awesome episode. Good Thursday night edition. We've done a Wednesday night show. We've done a Thursday night show. We've done Friday, and we've done Sunday. Did we miss a day of the week?
Well, we did.
We
We
just
missed
about
the
did them
Sunday.
all.
I think we missed the Sunday, and we had to do a Monday one time, I believe. So
Maybe so. Yeah. So just Tuesday we didn't hit this Tuesday and Saturday.
look at Greg's last comment.
You ain't first, you're last.
Hi, Ricky Bobby.
Hey, I tend to follow that train of thought. So I mean, hey, either you win or you lose.
Here's the good thing about me being so far away. You're down the road from Papa D. I don't know. You have to hear it all the time in person and on the dang state on the radio here. So more power to you.
Luckily, it's just for bragging rights. We didn't come up with anything else for this season. Maybe next year we'll have to do like a little trophy or something. I don't know, but just something else. But if it was for an actual hard piece of hardware, we'd never hear the end of it.
Well, I can only imagine he's probably talking junk all the time right now. I'm leading you guys. I don't know. Oh my gosh, it wears me out just on the hour I spend with him twice a week.
Oh man, better start calling your boogie dog father. What?
I'll bankroll you. Your bookie.
Your bookie. I misread that.
Because I'll bankroll you.
Hey, come on, man. I'd be happy to. Yeah, hey, y'all got betting out there. It's legal, so you need some help, just give me a call.
Yeah.
I can only do the, like fantasy stuff here in Georgia, and I've done a couple, over under stuff like that, but can't do anything else. So, well, hey, it's been a great season. It's a lot of fun. Been a lot of fun with you guys. We really appreciate you being on with us, Tiger Mike. It's been a heck of a ride, and
Thank you.
we're gonna be back on Sunday night, same time, and then we'll kind of go from there. After that, we've got a playoff to look forward to, so that's going to be really exciting. And hey, got to drop this. Been holding on to it all night, so we're gonna end the show with a bang. Me and Daddy Ice will be at the SEC championship game on Saturday.
Nice, man. How many games I can make for you this year? 5.
That's 4 for me this year.
4. Nice, man. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, you gonna go there and watch them get beat by Alabama? Man.
See, I watched them get beat the first time, so my thought process is maybe we get them this time, and I'll be there in person for the first time.
Yeah.
So for us,
I didn't really talk any smack. If it was Papa D, he would have been talking smack all day if it was my team doing that stuff. So he's funny with that stuff. But I let it go. I didn't mess with you. I know it was a rough one, so that was a tough game.
Yeah, and hey, it was close. So
it was close.
We'll see what it's like on Saturday, but we'll be there. It'll be a lot of fun.
Have fun.
He went to the SEC championship last year when we won.
I heard about that. He said he got drunk.
He got a little,
and your mom got mad.
He had a little bit to drink, and this will be my first one, so I'm looking forward to it. So Greg says, let's create the hardware for Between the Hedges. I'm down.
Yeah, you're right.
But if we do that, Papa D's gonna be, he's gonna be unbearable.
He's gonna bring it with him everywhere. Christmas, get-togethers, Thanksgivings, coming over for Sunday night dinner, everything, man. He's gonna be bringing it with him.
Gonna have a profile pic, just holding it.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Hey man, well, it's been fun tonight. Let's everybody go have a great evening, have a great weekend, enjoy the games. It's championship week already, can't believe it. And then it's on to the playoffs. So for some of us at least.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
Thanks for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
And as always, those of you out there, if you would please just give us a like, subscribe, share with 5 of your friends. It's the best way to help us out. We do appreciate it, and it costs you nothing. So give us some love, and we'll see you back on Sunday night. And as always,
Tigers.
Yep, go Dogs.
I had to get in there first.
Beat me to it this time.
I did.
It's all right. Go Dogs.